I'm joined in studio by CH2. They're two-time SAMA Award winners, and they're going to speak to us about the performance they've just given us and the very exciting weekend that they've got lined up. Corné, Leon, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Now, thank you for the incredible performance that you just did. I have never seen hands move that fast, ever.
We just try to shake them around and see what happens. That's basically... It
Hope
works
some
every
good
time.
sounds
Works.
pop out.
It's working for you. Two-time SAMA Award winners. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You must have been playing for almost all your life. It sounds like it, Corné.
Yes, I think the most important is that it takes time to get to a certain level of playing. A lot of playing on stage at concerts, etc. Always, when you practice in your room, you get to a certain level. When you get on stage, you're 10 times worse because of nerves, etc. So it takes time to get there. So we've been playing for a long time. The band has been in existence for 15 years. So it's taken taken time to get there, and as we go along, the style also changes, etc. It keeps us interested. So it's a lot of fun, actually.
Leon, talk to us about that changing style. If somebody were to say to you, "What is CH2? What can I expect?" What can they expect?
It's a very difficult question, actually, because we started out more on the classical side of stuff, but nowadays we're venturing into a bit of jazz, a bit of a fusion between the classical, the jazz, the Spanish, a lot of Spanish influence, obviously because of the rhythmic patterns. So we try to fuse a lot of different styles, and it keeps it, like Gunay says, it keeps it interesting for us as well. And you're growing as an artist without neglecting your original style. So there'll always be a bit of that classical and Spanish vibe to what we do. But we try to venture into even instrumental pop. You know, we try to influence, get a lot of different styles into our music, and I think we're succeeding in a way where, you know, we keep it interesting for ourselves, but also try and get the listener out there to listen to sort of a varied style, different styles of music within one little package.
It seems like the latest style these days is trying to break the guitars, but
And it
trying to
does
play
happen.
them as hard as possible, you know.
Has it happened?
Oh yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Corné, I want to talk a little bit more about that fusion, because as I understand it, you guys are not scared to mix a really centuries-old classical piece with something like Sting or Metallica. Tell us about that.
Well, it's an interesting concept that was born about 2 years ago, and we started fiddling with it. But basically what happens is that a lot of melodies, like old school melodies, some young people will come to you and say, "I heard this beautiful song on radio, a pop song, lovely pop song," or it's even a rap song sometimes, or hip hop. And then you say, "Yes, and that riff was actually written by Beethoven or Bach." So a lot of the times people compose melodies over that. But what we then thought was take something like Bach, cello suite, and try and see what modern melody you can play with it. But the key is that the riff of Bach will be played as he composed it, and the melody will be performed as, for instance, Sting would have composed it. And you put the two over each other. So it takes a lot of time to obviously work out which songs are going to fit together that way. And it's basically literally a mashup of the two being played together. So it's a concept that grew, and it's very interesting, and you can do so many different pieces and interesting textures with it. So we're starting to record that album, and we're also going to play a couple of those pieces at the concert that we're doing on Sunday, the Nederburg concert on Sunday afternoon at 5 o'clock. And it's interesting, for instance, the other one is Metallica, and what's the other one? Fear Release, sorry, yeah. Beethoven and Metallica. Two of them together. So nothing else matters, and Fear Release together. So it's a very interesting concept.
Absolutely extraordinary. You briefly mentioned albums. Where can we get them? How many are there? Tell us that information, Leon.
Well, we've got about 7 or 8 albums out already.
So you're not just sitting on your laurels, you're busy.
No. Look, I reckon that's very important. You have to keep on recording. If you're not out there, nobody's going to be able to hear you. Obviously with social media and YouTube and that, it makes it easier, but you have to record. Albums should be at any good music store. And obviously online. They can find us on iTunes, all the online stores.
Website as well.
Yeah,
our website. They can order CDs.
And yeah, they can. We try and be as visible as possible, and to make it as easy as possible for the listener out there. I think it's so important, because you're in a sea full of amazing musicians. You kind of have to. Have the courtesy to at least be there, you know, and be online and make it easy and accessible for the people out there. So we're all over the show. So
if our viewers today want to tweet you, want to ask you a question, where can they find you?
It's Twitter at CH2 Guitar Duo, and Facebook.
It's also CH2 Guitar Duo.
Also CH2 Guitar Duo,
yeah. And if you search on Google CH2, we're right at the top, which is quite cool. And then if you click there, obviously on our website, all the links are there for YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter as well.
Corné, I suppose this is like asking you to choose your favorite child, but do you have a favorite song that you enjoy playing in front of an audience?
I think the song that we performed earlier, Brasilia, is one of the favorites. Simply
And
because
it's one of your own?
Yes, one of our own compositions, and simply because it showcases what the guitar can do, from the picking technique to the strumming technique, and then at the end it's a question of how fast can you go. And that's a beautiful showpiece. It always, if ever anyone asks us to perform only one piece on stage, it'll be that one, because it just is an amazing piece for us to perform, and the audience always enjoys it.
That really makes me laugh, because I'm married to an Afrikaans man, and he's always trying to see how fast he can do anything.
There we go.
In a car, on his drum kit. It's so typical. Give an Afrikaans man a guitar and he'll try and see how fast it can go.
I promise you it's not only Afrikaans guys.
It's any guy.
The next is how fast it can make scrambled eggs.
I would get behind that one.
There we go. Oh, press a bet. Sorry, whoever it is. Sorry.
Now, tell us a little bit more about this weekend's concert. You very briefly touched on it. If we want to attend, where do we get tickets? Where do we go?
Tickets, you can buy tickets by emailing concerts@distel.co.za. The concert will start at 5 o'clock on Sunday at Nederburg in Paarl. So we're very much looking forward to that concert.
Now, before I let you go, Corne, won't you tell us that website address where we can interact with you and find your music?
It's very easy, www.ch2, that's the number 2, like the abbreviation for Channel 2, not that we call Channel 2, .co.za, and from there it's basically very easy to email us. We've got a newsletter that people can subscribe to as well, watch videos, etc.
CH2, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks a lot.